Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason and
I'm Batman.
I don't know what happened there. What I meant to say was, hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Jason and
I'm Batman.
cut to the intro while I figure this out. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason and I am your watch guy today. That's right, watch guy. I got there in the end, didn't I? To be honest, that's just what this Boldr does for me. This is an absolutely fantastic piece about to be released by Boldr. They've sent this in for me to review. I don't get to keep it. I know, cue sad crowd noises. Aww. But I've had the chance to wear it on wrist for a few weeks and really enjoy it. And honestly, this Musou black dial really does do something for me. And it definitely leaves a little hint of stealth. Now, if you wanted to pick this watch up, I've linked their website in the description. With that out of the way, let me turn this camera around and let's get into this review. Right guys, before we get into this absolutely fantastic watch from Boldr, just a little personal note here. I set out in 2022 saying that I really wanted to work with 3 specific micro brands. That was Phoebus, Zelos and Boldr. Now I had to buy a Zelos. Phoebus eventually did actually pick me up, and now I've got the chance to work with Boldr. It's insane because obviously these were the type of brands that I was looking at when I was only watching reviews and really wanted to be involved with, and now I am. So thanks to Boldr for that. Tick the box for me. So let's talk about the watch. Let's get on with what we're here for. This is probably the blackest watch that you will ever see. And I could leave the review here. But I'm not going to do that because this is a functional timepiece also. So let's get into that. Now, this is going to be released for $449. The link is in the description. That'll work out around 354 in our Great British pounds. So this is the Vogelkop Superb, and it's actually named after a bird, which I'll insert a picture of here. It is the most insane looking bird that I've ever seen. You know, like one of those memes where you see like a fish from the bottom of the ocean and you're like, that can't be real. Yeah, that's about what I thought of this. Let's talk about this. Casing is fully 316L stainless steel and it has a DLC coated black casing. Really nicely finished throughout, a very matte effect throughout the watch. It is 40 millimeters in diameter, 12.5 millimeters thick, including this bezel, 46 millimeters lug to lug, and these lugs are 20 millimeter lugs, which is all pretty standard stuff. I'm sure you'll agree. Really, the casing is defined by the almost rugged edges and the beautiful curves that flow through it. As you can see through the side of the case profile here, we do have chamfered edges throughout. As well as that, the crown sits really nicely inside these perfectly fitted and shaped crown guards. Now it is a nailed crown, it's a screw down crown. First position is unfortunately a ghost 8 position. Second position, handset. This is a hacking hand winding movement. It is the NH35. It's nice to see that Boldr have signed this crown. It is embossed, so it is really legible too, so you can definitely see it. Now the bezel is an interesting one. From any other standpoint, it's just a normal tooth-like bezel, coin edge bezel. However, it's actually a really nice overhanging bezel. There's a little lip here. Well, I say a little lip, it's actually quite a big one, and it really does add a little bit of style to the watch, a little bit extra to the design and the look of the piece. The bezel itself is a 120 click unidirectional bezel. The only marking to it is these 2 large circles up at what would be the 12 o'clock or the 12 marker. Now, throughout the watch, it's a completely matte black finish to it before we get into that dial. We also have a screw down case back, And as you'll be able to see there, we also have quick release spring bars. I'll get onto them later on. Markings on the case back, you may not be able to see too much. It is actually the superb bird of paradise artistically etched onto there in a nice fine black print. Around the bottom here we have the name of the piece. No other information on this. It is display case back, and you can see that NH35 movement doing its work in the back. Sapphire crystal, we do have a small level of AR coating on here, which definitely helps with the visibility of the Musou black dial, and that's definitely what you're looking for. I said legibility there, I mean visibility. There is no legibility about this piece. Visibility. Makes it much more visible and much more of a delight to look at. Altogether, this casing provides the watch with 200 meters of water resistance, which does mean that it's nicely splash proof. Probably small water activities are going to be fine with this one. Now, as we move into the dial, there's not much for me to talk about. So I'll tell you about the paint that is used for this dial. It is called Musou Black. Now, you may have heard of Vantra Black. That is a step above this, but it's not widely available. Musou Black is widely available on the open market, and I suppose that's how Boldr have got their hands on it. It absorbs 99.4% of light, and it gives this stealth, deep, black, almost ominous look to the dial, and I absolutely love it. Now, it is accented nicely by the handset. The handset has a darker edge to it, black edge around the finish, and a loomed center. We have a pencil thin second hand, which has a loom tip on it. And on the counterbalance, you can see the Boldr logo. I think that's a really nice touch from Boldr. So with that out of the way, it's straight into the loom shot. So let me get these lights out and let's have a look at this one. Here we have the loom shot. As you can see, BGW9 on this one. There are some lesser points to it. The bezel is definitely not as bright as the handset, and the second hand obviously doesn't have very much surface area to apply that loom to, so it is quite faint. However, the handset is pretty bright and very well spread. It's very well done. That's what really you wanted from Boldr on this. I mean, imagine these not being well loomed. That'd be an absolute nightmare considering the dial that they fitted it with. I'm quite a fan. I do like the watch itself. However, with this loom shot, I think I can't really give much for the loom shot. It's well applied. It's well done. It is what it is. I think I'd have to give this a 6. And that's obviously because it is a very simplified watch, so there's not much they can do with it. But it is what it is. Okay, so let's move on to this bracelet. The bracelet was actually one of my favourite parts of this piece. Now, these are push pin links. It is completely matte in effect, just like the casing. We have a simple clasp here, fold over, milled clasp, safety there. The Boldr logo is on the safety with a nice little etching here to snazz it up a little bit, I guess. We have quick release spring bars on this one, which are nice to see, as well as the drilled lugs. However, I don't think I'd envision myself taking this bracelet off this one, because honestly, it's fantastic. It fits absolutely beautifully to wrist. We have 3 levels of micro adjust. This watch fits very, very comfortably on my 6¼ inch wrist, as you can see here. Again, very big fan of it, and it really did wear very nicely for me on an everyday wear. It definitely was a conversation starter. However, I don't think many people picked up on the Musou Black before I pointed it out. It's really an interesting thing to talk to people about. However, you are going to have to be one of those guys that brings it up. So be aware of that. Where do my moans lie in this piece? Well, I do have them. Obviously, completely simplistic design, and I get that, but it does mean that for anyone that wants any legibility in time telling, this isn't the watch for you. You're going to get the time wrong all the time. People are going to be mad at you. It is what it is. But they really had no other option with this type of design. They really wanted to make it almost a black hole effect to this piece, and they've done that. But the legibility has definitely suffered, and for anyone that wants a watch to be a functional time-telling device, well, this isn't the one for you. You can't dive with it. There's no dive aspect to this piece because obviously you can't time your dive effectively. I mean, you can't really mark. You can obviously mark it, but where's the rest of the markings to tell you how long it's been? But I guess water sports be perfectly fine. Something that you're not actually using as a functional piece in, perfectly fine. Finally, I do love this bracelet. However, I would like to have seen more levels of micro adjust. 3 just isn't enough for me. They do sort of get away with it though with the really small links because they make a much easier fit to wrist. And finally, one thing that they definitely need to assess in the build quality is that the bracelet isn't exactly fitted flush to the casing on either side. They definitely need to assess that. Obviously, this isn't a cheap watch, $449. I get that for a lot of people it's going to be a peak of collection type of piece. However, with it being that, it definitely needs to have a better fit than that. They need to iron out all the creases on this one. £354 on their website. What do you think, guys? Is this something that you'd like to pick up? And while you're at it, tell me about this Musou black effect. Do you think that it's a real goer? Do you think it makes you feel very Batman, very Dark Knight, or is it just a gimmick? Let me know in the comments. So guys, what do we think of the Boldr Vogelkop Superb? I think it's absolutely fantastic. I know it has its drawbacks, as I did mention in the moan section, but honestly, it's something completely different for your collection, and that's why I really like to have it on the channel. On occasion, I like to show you something that's completely different, and that's definitely what this is. Now, $449, £354. Do you think it's worth it? Let me know in the comments. I know the NH35 will be a drawback for some people, and I know that's not a legible dive piece or something like anything like that, but it's definitely something different, and I think it'd definitely work for a lot of people out there. Watch out for this one in the next Batman film, I'm telling you. Thanks for watching, guys. Please remember to subscribe to the channel if you want to check out Boldr. They're linked in the description, as is my online store. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.